see if that worked. Yes.
No cure for fools.
Jin ban does come out. Yasuo. I'm liking this.
Fine, I'll just be over here.
Then
Sharpening
Dexia.
my
They're really
leverage.
targeting ADCs from Siron. That's interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Siron play Yasuo? Right? We've actually seen both these teams play Yasuo, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So the Jhin ban is
Seems you left
because
your
there's a
brave pants
comp
at home.
that's been
Want me
running
to wait while
often
you go
is
get them?
Jhin,
Nunu,
Nunu, and yeah, like what's
I saw
bot lane,
that.
like Kamo or so, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked pretty scary.
Tolerate
I'm surprised. I mean, when I saw that game, they didn't go Ginsu's, but it seems like Ginsu's is still a really strong pick item for Jhin.
Yeah.
The whole recursive stats. I know they fixed that a little bit in a patch, but I think it's like still pretty good. But yeah, that looks pretty nasty. Nunu's so weird because he was played for a while in NA, and then like Bruiser supports kind of started being picked more. Taric first pick. This is exciting. It's the first Taric we've seen. And that's I really like Taric, even though he's been nerfed, just because like what he says for a team comp, he gives away so little information
Yeah.
about what they're trying to do. He's very solid in the hands of a good player and a coordinated team.
Very true. So we have to worry there.
Braum Orianna, that I mean Yasuo's banned. They're picking a Wombo, but I'm kind of curious
oh,
what
Vel'Koz is
the
open.
we're missing the cornerstone, right? Yeah, Taric Vel'Koz is a great combo. That's an insane combo. Because Taric can really keep the Vel'Koz safe. And Vel'Koz, is pretty susceptible to getting dove.
This is gonna be interesting now which hyper they're gonna pick, because they
Both
have to
hypers, I
blind
have no
pick
idea.
the hyper more or less. But
Wow.
the red side team actually has the option to counter pick it.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting that they were thinking about the Jarvan for a second. I'm almost kind of curious if that's the direction. They don't see they can't counter pick an enemy hyper though, so they go I guess like Graves is like the safer.
And he
pick,
can
yeah.
set up the Taric stun pretty easily with his E himself,
Yeah.
like reposition himself so he can get the stun or anything.
Braum does kind of lock down his damage though. We're picking Graves into a Braum. Vel'Koz's insane against Braum. I love that pick. Vel'Koz's great against Braum. But Graves, I don't know. Keep in mind if you're a good Braum player, you're saving your ult for Vel'Koz ult. He's gonna get a little bit of it all off, but you can still cancel probably like half of it with your ult. So Lucian Braum does come through. Very strong synergy. Orianna, good synergy with Braum. Very interesting. Both these teams just are really solid, like really solid picks. Not really leaving any flaws in their team composition. They both have obvious team fights they're trying to go for that are in their favor. I love it. It's good stuff.
That's gonna be really interesting. Let me have a look. Real quick. There you go. You can have a look at the runes too.
Yeah, for anyone unaware of the synergies, of course, Lucian's double shot passive with Braum. Braum's passive means he procs Braum's passive. Probably the best out of any hyper carry, out of any duo. So it's just huge threats early on because, like, say Braum lands a Q on a Taric or something, you can just like kill the Taric with Ignite, and then Lucian gets multiple resets of his double shot. He ease in, double shot, Q, double shot, W, double shot. Pretty much a dead Taric.
So
Orianna seems maybe not ideal, but that's also kind of my NA bias, where we don't really pick Orianna anymore. Normally, you'd see like a Vigar here, but I understand Vigar isn't picked too much in EU.
Yeah, I haven't really seen much Vigar, to be honest, there, so it's pretty interesting. Vel'Koz has Barrier and Orianna has Ignite.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've seen that matchup twice. I mean, it makes sense, right? I think like the generic Vel'Koz summoner Barrier, and the generic Orianna summoner is Ignite.
If you look at the runes, wait, let me switch this to English actually real quick. There you go. So the Vel'Koz runes, he has Sorcery and Resolve. And and Oriana has sorcery and inspiration with
Very
the
cool.
boots
Okay.
though. So yeah, we have the defensive option on the Vel'Koz side.
But whereas you have the boots, the more, you know, the slightly more aggressive option on the Oriana.
Exactly.
Does Yi ever get played on EU? Does he get played very often?
I don't think
this
he
type of
gets
level?
played very much anymore. I think probably because of the Rageblade nerfs.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
He sees play in NA every now and then, but I don't think it's particularly the strongest comp. Like there's one comp that all people are afraid of, which is Yi, Taric,
Yeah.
and Morgana.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it pretty much shores up all the weaknesses of Yi. But like I think against really good teams, you just invade him, and Yi, like, he can't contest camps the same. Like if you invade an ADC, you know, with like a really aggressive
Yeah, yeah.
early comp, like, they can like contest the camp and everything, and like, you know, kind of play around it a little bit, control the space. Yi can't really do that. He has to either fight you or leave. And
That's true. Yeah.
I think that's probably one of his biggest weaknesses. But if he is able to get to Blood Razor and Gitsu's with the Taric ult and the Morgana shield, then that's a lot. But yeah, just someone asked the question to me in PM.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really like E myself much, so yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I think
yeah.
like people tend to think of him as kind of like low skill, like kind of like an idiot champ because his right click is so good. But you got to use your W well. You got to Q the right stuff. If you Q
Exactly.
wrong, you die. If your Q is even slightly inaccurate, you know, as far as like
Exactly. Yeah.
making a decision, you get fucked. So. This game's gonna be interesting. I don't know. If you had to say which team drafted better, which comp do you think is better?
It's really hard to say. I think I honestly can't tell. Like, I like the Vel'Koz, you know,
Yeah.
more than the Oriana probably.
Yeah,
But then,
I'd agree with that.
but then we have a Lucian Braum combo, which should be like or feels better, like, you know.
Then Graves
Yeah,
Tara. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it too. Both supports going Guardian and Inspiration. See if there's anything unique there. I'd imagine it's just boots and Fool's Market, like the last set.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the actually, Graves went domination.
Electrocute. That is for
I
early
didn't see
pressure, which
that,
is weird
yeah.
because they have a Taric and a Vel'Koz who are not usually considered to be early game champions. Was Brand banned? Did anyone see?
No.
I would have loved a Brand pick, to be honest, with
We
either team,
had-
frankly.
We had no bot lane bans. We had
Bans, yeah.
Jhin, Xayah, Poppy, Yasuo, Xin, and Darius.
So not pictured here, Anivia and Brand. Interesting.
Exactly.
Both these teams wanted Oriana and Vel'Koz.
We don't really see Anivia that much either, I think.
Really? Okay.
Like, that's like how I feel. I don't really
Gotcha.
see it that much.
She's usually has to be paired with an aggressive duo. That's why like Lucian, Braum, and Anivia is a pretty common trio in NA, just because like it helps shore up her early weakness a little bit, and then in mid game she's really strong.
Yeah.
Pitches with Braum and whatnot. I mean they still have a lot of strength with the, you know, balling the Braum after he lands a Q and an ult.
Yeah. Okay, in bot lane,
Oriana really aggressive positioning. Vel'Koz doing a typical level 1 shove. Getting poked for it.
yeah, they just traded there. Actually, Oriana winning the trades there.
Pretty heavily, yeah. I mean, Vel'Koz has to shove with W level 1, but his fight is really bad without Q.
That's true.
Both hypers going for the longsword route, not slowing down their scaling in any way, shape, or form.
Lucian actually went for a Hunter's Machine too. I'm not
It
sure.
does double
Yeah.
procs his passive on camps, but he can't farm. He like doesn't
Yes.
get his mana.
The mana back, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe he will like have an early back or so for jungle item. Because Lucian is pretty mana heavy, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. If he wants to have a fast clear, he is.
So they're shoving in the wave here. Yeah, Vel'Koz is just pushed in there. Orianna has the control there.
Yeah, that is. Oh, does land the passive.
Oh, that's
So they're
nice
both at
chunk.
about
Yeah.
even health. And he's not even trying to dodge the Orianna Qs though. He's just taking everything. I wonder, does he have? So he has bone plating.
Yes, and
I wonder what he
crystallize.
right?
Yeah.
Probably Chrysalis. Yeah, but see, I almost kind of I was about to say like if you take this the one that heal when enemies deal damage to you,
Yeah.
that probably adds up over the course of a laning phase.
Okay, so they didn't manage to get the full wolf camp yet. They're still here to contest it.
Still contesting it. Yeah, it looks like they can pressure in though with Braum. Vel'Koz so low. Ooh,
Lucian
both
got
smited,
it, I think.
Lucian got
Yeah.
it. The stun goes out, Lucian dodges it. Really just heavy damage going out onto blue team.
Taric is solo. Vel'Koz is just shoving in the wave here as good as he can now.
What you're really trying to do with Taric is get your ult, obviously. That's the strongest part about your kit. Most busted, probably ultimate in any support has, at the very least. And then pick fights well late game, so that you always have your ult up for the fight. You want to like contest stuff, sort of back off, poke, harass, whereas you don't want to actually full in fight until you have your ult. So it's pretty expected for Taric to be struggling in the early game. His kit doesn't really lend itself well to early fights, quite like Braum's.
Yeah. Especially against such a combo then.
Yeah, Lucian Braum, you see, everyone cedes that pressure. Like pretty much no one can contest. What are some early aggro picks? Oh wait, big
Oh,
fight.
they'll extend it there maybe.
Exhaust Ignite comes down, Barrier comes down. Orianna super low. Looks like that they're gonna give Braum. They have to give up the Braum.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's
Orianna
what's
actually
sad.
gets
In fact,
hit
he
there.
landed the Orianna. Yeah. This is crazy. The Lucian Braum, they were so out of position. I would
Oh,
not take
Orianna.
this. Well played by Orianna. That was
Oh,
her out.
very nice.
That was absolutely her out there.
Pretty much was the
She's
only
fun.
way to, because they looked like they wanted to pressure there.
Well, what that indicated to her was that, see, like, she couldn't do that normally, or it would be risky, because she doesn't know where Braum and Lucian are, presumably very close to the Vel'Koz. But
Yeah.
once she sees them behind her, like, trying to corral her, she can totally go for that. She took the call. That was really well played.
Nice action going on there already.
Yeah, that was sick. I think the reason why Lucian and Braum lost that is because they had this really bizarre triangle going on, where they had, like,
Yeah.
they had the Orianna on one side, and they had the Braum on the other side, and Lucian on the other side. Like, because Lucian had to get out of there really quick. So it was just almost destined to go bad for them.
Probably just were greedy there. They should have just like pushed in the wave and then maybe go get their own jungle.
Yeah. This is a personal pet peeve of mine. If you read 3v3.gg, I talk about it there, but I don't like potion buys on supports. So
Yeah.
Tark does opt to buy the potion, but it might slow down his build a tiny bit.
It's 150 gold, which is quite a lot for a support, I guess.
If for support, that's exactly, like, it's a lot of gold for an effect that you already naturally heal as Tarek, and also like just recall if you're a support. I think that's my thoughts on that. Like if you really need to heal up after a fight, just recall.
Exactly.
Warrior completed for Graves, not for Lucian. Lucian is really close to having it though. I don't know how much it is from double longsword.
Oh.
It's like 625 from a completed item.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I guess that means it's like 1,000 gold for him. So
Yeah, he
has
should
the comp
have
back
it.
if
He should
wants
have it, yeah. Both bot laners got level 6 now too, so we have the Vel'Koz ult, which can take the things over quite a lot there.
Yeah, it'll change the outcome of fights dramatically. Vel'Koz's taken over the lane a little bit compared to the early levels.
Okay,
He's
so
actually keeping the Orianna off the lane.
top lane we have the exact same items now.
Mirrored, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Braum,
Oh, he actually loses the cannon bot. Feels
Okay.
bad.
Braum didn't go for the health potion even though he had the money for it, so
Yeah,
you know.
they're ghosting.
Oh,
OP. Very aggressive positioning here. Stun comes down, does land on the Lucian. Orianna and
missed
Vel'Koz
his
there about
Q
the same
though.
time. Ult comes down, it's only onto Tarek. Tarek super low, red smite going. The Orianna W gets the kill on Tarek, or helps assist the kill for Lucian. Very well played.
very nice.
It's
there.
it's little small things. There's no like necessarily like mechanical or strategic mistakes. It's just small little things adding up Vel'Koz still has ults. That's probably a contributed to them losing that fight, that he didn't get to have a good ult and Oriana did.
Yeah, I don't think he just didn't have the chance to really ult there. Like the Taric
There wasn't a
was
good one.
just caught there with the Brawl passive on him and just got bursted down there.
Taric, I mean, for what it's worth noting, he got boots here, which means he doesn't, in fact, he probably went 5% CDR instead of magical boots, which means that he has to invest gold into his movement speed, and he is delaying his face of the mountain even more.
If he
So
didn't buy the potion, he would have had the support item.
Yeah, he would have had it. And Braum actually has it in the bank right now because of the assist. He is 5 gold away from having face of the mountain.
And Taric actually runs the futures market too.
Yeah, he runs future. I'm sure he's running future futures market, and 5% CDR is what it has to be. Stun actually comes down on dilution, but Braum shield negates any possible damage. Vel'Koz is here. I don't think they're gonna take a fight though.
I think they pinged him. I think they saw him there.
Yeah.
At least like the second he went in there, they pinged there.
10 farm up on Lucian is pretty significant. He's not the best at farming, so when he gets farm lead, it's a big deal.
Yeah. Ralco's backing. How much gold does he have? 1.2k. I guess
They
got
see.
distracted there.
Oh no, I mean they tried to make a play on him recalling, but minions on turret.
He can just push in the wave so fast. He doesn't have much mana, but for that he has enough. And it's a cannon wave that's coming, so as long as he backs safely and the top lane, top is safe there too.
Braum's playing aggressively because he has ult, and Oriana's just flanking, so they need to keep that in mind that Taric doesn't have it, and Braum does. Braum playing with boots as well.
Yeah, but yeah, he got the boots from inspiration there.
Yeah.
I wonder what Taric went then. Futures market, yeah, 5 CDR.
CDR has to be. I mean, well, we can find out, right? Doesn't it say?
Oh yeah, but
But it totally doesn't. That sucks. It just shows the basic stats.
yeah, but he did. Just checked OP.gg.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking at his dazzle cooldown, and I can tell that it's
Support main things.
the decimal points. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you already get 10% off with the Kindle Gem, but
That's interesting. So, you know what? I'm going to take... We haven't talked about this yet, and it's usually not important to talk about, but skill level up. the Vel'Koz is going even Q and W, and
That's
the
true.
Taric has a point in Q and a point in E, and I wonder if he did that intentionally, because when I get E as Taric, it's never intentional. It's old memory, muscle memory,
okay.
for when
Yeah.
it used to matter. So, I'm curious.
So do you always... What do you always max Q?
You max Q because the healing is massive, and then if you max E, you don't actually get anything out of it. As Taric, you just get a little bit of damage, so it's just better to go. It's just better to go Q healing. I mean, it like level 9 with you have your tier 5 Q, it heals for like 400.
Oh, that's
Alt
big.
used bots on Oriana. Vel'Koz getting poked. They like to be really efficient with their gold, even if it means they're not gonna like rush their items.
Yeah.
Vel'Koz looking
Vel'Koz
for an
ult
ult,
there.
finds it on Braum. That is a dead Braum. Good follow-up. Ignite used on...
That Taric ult was pretty
Our
late.
ult does come down. It comes down very late. That's not going to be used anywhere. In fact, follow-up does get the kill onto Graves despite him ulting and flashing.
Damn.
Both very low. Extremely low. 2 procs on Oriana. Any ability kills her. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to follow it up. Lucian is going to find Wraiths up, and he's going to take it. Potentially still has a kill onto Vel'Koz if Vel'Koz is greedy.
Yeah, Lucian still has flash up. I mean, Vel'Koz has flash and barrier, so...
Ooh, this is a dead Vel'Koz. Explosive shield barrier coming in. Goes for the flash, trades the flash.
Okay.
That is close. You know what? Bone shield saved him because barrier alone would not have been enough.
So
that
close.
was impressive. Yeah. That actually ends up being better for, I think, the blue team because that's flash on dilution.
Yeah,
Flash
but
barrier used
Oriana's
by Vel'Koz, but
Oriana still has her flash up and nobody else has the summoners, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And the red
Yeah,
team
you
got
know-
one more kill too, so
what's gold lead, by the way? Even on hypers, pretty much like 100 gold, give or take. Pretty much even on support, 100 gold, and then it is 1,000 gold on APs. So once again, APs being the most important role as far as gold differentials.
that's actually pretty interesting, well, because usually people say that APs can't really influence the game much anymore. It's just like top lane and stuff.
If you farm well and pressure your lane, you know, I like. I guess one way to look at it. Oh, alt used, but
Yeah.
it missed. However, very low health on the Vel'Koz. I think one way to look at it is that it's really hard to deny gold from the enemy hyper if you're just like farming and like pushing lane. Like you have to invade to deny gold from the enemy hyper.
Yeah.
It's really easy to deny gold from the enemy AP though, because you're in lane with them and you just poke them out and they don't get any gold.
True.
So I think that's probably why gold differentials pop up bot lane. At least that's my hypothesis.
Taric got chunked down there a bit. Got hit with a bomb Q and then followed with the stun.
You know, it's really hurting the Taric that he got a level behind on the Braum from like the early death, because he's never caught that experience back up. That is stayed dead.
Vel'Koz. Yeah.
Yeah, Vel'Koz check the brush. You want to talk about the strength of that duo again? Braum lands a Q. Dead Vel'Koz. This is looking bad for Graves. Taric ult late, very late ult.
They
That
actually
is
have the
looking like a
passive on
dead-
Graves, yeah.
Yeah, that is a dead Graves. Yeah, very scary. Vel'Koz dies and team follows.
So far we haven't seen Taric Gold do more or less anything. Always came in kind of late.
Yeah, it's been very low impact this game. To be fair though, like it's pretty hard as Taric to determine when you should ult when it's a 2v3, because ideally you don't want to be ulting, you want to be getting out.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks like Stormbringer being rushed on Graves. I think that's probably a good call. You don't want the slower build. You know, the like Death Stance Black Cleaver. I think that's a little too slow here.
Yeah.
You need a little bit more burst to try to get this game back.
Solution finished his blade there. And going for the...
I think he had it.
Had it?
I
Oh,
think he
well,
had
it's
it.
in cooldown, but yeah.
Oh, that's actually FF comes out.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Damn. That was a 15
They
minutes
just
game.
determined that they weren't going to come back. Yeah, exactly 15 minutes. They realized that, you know, I think like they realized the mistakes that they made.
Yeah.
And they wanted to take it to the next game.
We did 4-0 Oriana bot there, so, and Delusion.
Yeah, that Oriana was sick. But I don't feel like Vel'Koz played bad. I really don't. I think that it just came down to like a few instances where the Oriana was able to like push a little bit of extra damage through. You know, it was like a
Exactly,
couple
yeah.
instances like that added up.
Yeah.
Very cool game.